Welcome to my little space, where heart and hook stitch up a place where we can together make a refuge safe for all our sake. So, this week I really need to just zero in and get some work done. Hopefully not spend as much time recording and video editing because I'm really needing to stare at my phone for the pattern for this. So I'll check in when I can, quickly here and there, but I did finish this first front panel for this sweater, and it needs some stuff around the edge, and I will dive into the second front panel this evening. If you saw a few weeks ago in my vlog, I covered making this particular wig, and I was so pleased, so tickled to get this review. I don't normally read my reviews here, but I'm going to read this one because it almost made me cry. This was a gift from my daughter. Her words, "It's like she's in the room. I truly couldn't love it more. I can't believe it exists in the universe. I am so obsessed." So before making this one, I didn't really actually know that much about Queen Elizabeth I. I didn't know that she's kind of a great feminist figure, and I should have known that based on how many people buy this wig from me. But if you remember, I found some really cool quotes of hers, and I shared those when I was making this wig. And then this review is also from the same customer. She initially purchased a hat that she found in my shop that she liked, and then realized that this cowl matched, and she asked about whether it truly matches or not. And I took it out and I showed her a picture of the two side by side, and she loved them together, so she bought them, and then she left me this glowing review. I'll let you read it if you want to. All right, so I have two Facebook accounts. One is for my crochet that I started initially kind of back when I started my Etsy shop. And then more recently, because I've been a part of Facebook groups under my personal page for so long, I've ended up gaining a lot of followers there for my crochet as well. And I kind of just like going by my name more than my Etsy shop name anyway. So I've kind of turned my personal page into a copycat of the crochet page. And I got monetized on the crochet page last year, and I just got monetized on the personal page. So it's been about 6 days, and just in case you don't know about the monetization program, it really only gets you a noticeable amount of money if you have tons and tons of followers, which I do not. I have like about 1,000 followers there on my personal page. And so in 6 days, just to give you a sense, in 6 days, I've earned about 51 cents. So there's that. But here's to growing and getting monetized on all the platforms. And eventually, maybe it will be a nice little bit of extra passive income. That would be nice. But for now, I'm pleased I hit another milestone. Look how freaking beautiful. Thank you to, I'm not sure how to say this, Biamibi, for creating this pattern. If I said that wrong, I apologize. One mistake I made, I bet you can't tell if I zoom in. The only thing I did that I realized I didn't do is this first row of pink here. I was going to do it in the back loops only so that it creates like a little bit of a ridge here like this does. So I'm going to rectify that by doing, I already have a length cut of black. I'm just going to do a little top stitch of a line across here just to make it a little bit more of a defined line. And then I need to make the back panel, which is basically the same thing again, except with a few rows of black in between connecting them or all the way across the back. This is really fun. I'm gonna watch an episode with my parents of a show called Severance that they really recommended. So we'll see how far I get along the back panel over the course of one episode. Just real quick before I'm done with this stitching to show the difference. So a reminder, this is what the edge looks like on this side, and I wanted the same look with the black yarn on this side. Why are we blurry? There we go. So over here is where I don't have it stitched yet, and over here is where I do. So as you can see, it just kind of creates like a nice solid line there. So one thing I didn't say is I was about to go out and do some yard work before we watched that episode, and before I get to starting on the back. So here I am. This is basically the last of our fall leaves that I still had yet to get to. And look at this tree in bloom. And let's see if you can hear what I'm hearing when I'm working under this tree. Ignore the car going by right now. We'll wait till it's gone. You can probably see it and see him too. Okay, car is still pulling away. We're waiting for the car to be gone. I feel like we can't see them on the screen, but they must be visible. I'm just outside, so it's bright. I hope you can hear the bees buzzing. Okay, I hit 420 subs on YouTube, and I decided to celebrate by making a reel where I'm showing off the 3 Mary Jane themed items I've made. So I just thought I'd share my reel with you here. Okay, so if you're on social media at all, you probably have noticed the trend going around right now of making an AI caricature of yourself at work. I didn't want to do that. And I've been in the habit lately of whenever I see one of these generative AI trends, I want to make my own like copy paste collage. So this is what I made using a self-portrait doll that I made a while ago. And I posted it. It was fun. And then I shared this in a comment on one of Star Lily's posts where she marked herself safe from also doing the trend. And this is what I said. Yeah, it's totally cringe to me, and so many people who self-identify as artists doing it too. I'm just going to make my own collage version of every AI trend I see going around. This was mine for the caricature. And then I got a response from Jen Reality Is Now, which I don't know, this might be just a bot account, but they say, because they can have fun with it, why do they need to make their own? It's different if they're using AI to sell it, but it's for fun. Get over your egotistical selves. And then they liked their own comment. And then I responded, I'm expressing my opinions on the topic. It's perfectly fine for me to say I see something as cringe and saying that I'll make my own. You are the one putting words in my mouth that I said everybody needs to make their own. Go ahead and share your opinions as I have done here. That's fine. To elaborate a bit, it's particularly cringe to me when artists do it because of the way the generative AI models are trained, using existing human-made art without the artist's consent and without credit. As for me, I can't appreciate it at all. Same as how a sports fan probably wouldn't enjoy watching an AI-generated game. Imagine if the Super Bowl was just an AI-created game. They could even create ones to specifically cater to different people, and I don't think sports fans would enjoy that because they know it isn't real. Same thing for me. Art is intrinsically human, so an artist doing it seems so counterintuitive. But feel free to troll further. I appreciate the opportunity to expand upon my original thought. It is now Friday, and I just wanted to touch base with you on where I'm at. Here is what I have so far of the back. So the back, as I've said, is just going to be the front panels again, but put together with a few extra rows of black in the middle. So I've been very intentional about this because this is counting every stitch of every row and making sure I'm not getting off, because I don't want to get off and then not realize it for a few rows. So I'm following a chart for the pattern, and I'm using my phone for that. And when I sit down to do it, I sit down and I very intentionally make sure I'm not going to allow myself any distractions, because I start my stopwatch and then I start crocheting. And it doesn't matter how much I crochet in a chunk, but while the stopwatch is going, I'm just crocheting. And then when I need to stop for whatever reason, I take a screenshot of the chart, because it won't, if I leave and come back, it won't remember what row I'm on. And then I go stop my stopwatch and I take a screenshot of that, because I have experienced it when I leave for a while and come back and the stopwatch resets. So I'm being very intentional about it because I want to get a good timing for it so that I can make a listing in my shop and potentially make more if anybody wants to pay the price that it will end up being. So yeah, I've already put in a lot of hours. I will flash that up for you right now because I don't have it in my mind. But this is how much time it took me to make one panel. So multiply that by 2, and this is how much I've already put in for just the front. And now also, I thought I would mention the next order that I have. I got a customer, a return customer, who I think I saw that he had bought one of my Flying Spaghetti Monster tree toppers before, and he wanted to get a look-alike cat of his cat. So I'm going to do a sitting cat. I have a couple different patterns that I like to follow. One is a sitting cat and one is standing with its back arched, but I'm going to do the sitting cat. This is a really cool pattern by ZZ Dora Crochet. I will link to this pattern in the description box as well, even though you won't see me really getting to that probably in this chapter. I will be doing that next week in next week's vlog, mostly. But I have picked out the yarns for that. Here are the yarns for that. I'm going to be using, this was purchased at my most expensive tier of my look-alike cats, because what I'm going to do is, you see all these skeins that are marked for body color. This cat has a lot of mixed up colors in its in her coat. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split all of these yarns and mix them up in different combinations. Like the peach and the beige I will mix up together for like the peachy sections. The gray that's shifting here, I will match that up with itself, but like split, so that we have not, so it's not like stripy with like light to dark, because this yarn is kind of like a gradation. And I will mix them up in different ways throughout the coat to get that nice mottled effect. And he gave me permission to show the pictures of his cat too. So here's some pictures. This is what I'll be going for. I had 2 different shades of green for the eyes that I was trying to decide between when I was initially looking at the picture and looking at the yarns. So what I did is I zoomed way in on the picture, and took a screenshot and put it right next to a picture that I took of the two greens. And based on this, here I'll show you, I could tell that this more sage kind of green was a closer match. So that's what I like to do if I'm really torn on colors, is zoom way in so you can really identify the color and then put it right next to a picture of the yarn. So that's helpful if you're ever doing custom stuff like this. So I'm going away for the weekend again, down to my partner's house. I'll still be working on this for at least the rest of the day, probably tomorrow too, certainly tomorrow too. And then before I start making the cat, I really need to just whip out another Nana. So I will bring my bag of scraps to work on the Nana, and hopefully I can get that done within about a day. Usually, depending on how much time I have in a day, I can get one done if I have an entire day to work on it, or if it's partial days, then usually 2 days. And then yeah, so within a few days, I will be working on the cat. And so, like I said, you'll see mostly that being made in next week's vlog coming out on Tuesday. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and click the little notification bell so that you get notified whenever I have a new vlog come out. All right, I'm going to stop giving myself distractions now and go back to making that, and I will check back in with you at some point when I get probably quite a bit farther on that. Alrighty, there's the back panel. I just finished it, and oh my goodness. So I've been working on this for about a week. I think I started this last Sunday, and it is now Sunday. So I'm going to turn this over and show you what it looks like on the inside. Okay, here's what it looks like on the inside. It's kind of a cool look, actually. So I just need to weave in those few ends. Not a lot of ends to weave in. I also need to weave in the ends on the front panels, and I'll place the front panels so you can see how they're going to seam together. All right, there are the front panels. So they just need to get stitched along there to about there, and along the top to about there, so that there's room to have the neckline open. And yeah. Okay, she's just about done, maybe done. It's all stitched together. There's a little bit of an edge here. There are antenna that you can tie at the top, and I only need to ask my customer if she wants buttons down the front. I don't think it's necessary at all, but I'll give her that option. I'm back home and I have finished the Monarch cardigan, and there she is. Look how gorgeous. I didn't realize this until I got into the pattern towards the end, that it has antenna ties. So I'll be photographing this tomorrow morning. Very excited. I've got my time for it. It's going to be expensive when I list it in my shop. I don't know if anybody will ever order one, because it's a lot of hours that went into that. I got started on the next Nana. I want to get a lot of this done tonight. I'm going to get as much of it done as I can tonight. I know this week's video is pretty short, and next week's video might be pretty short as well, but I will, same as always, I'll at least let you know what I'm doing and show you bits of the process. I also got an order for a Flower of Life shrug, and it's kind of recreating a pastel one that I've made before. So I'm probably going to do that one right after I finish the Nana, because that'll be also a really quick project that I can put in the mail soon, along with this and a mouth puppet that I already have made. I sold 2 mouth puppets over the weekend. One of them I already have made that you saw last week. And And then after I make the cat, then I'll have to make another mouth puppet and probably batch make some because those are hot sellers right now. Anyway, I'm gonna sign out and get to work on my Nana. This next Nana is gonna be named after Tilda Swinton. So, Nana Tilda, because I find her quite inspiring as an actress and the way that she chooses her roles. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for her. So, anyway, I keep doing this. Oh, it's so awesome! I love it. I love it. This is the size large, which should account for XL through, I don't remember what it says, like 2 or 3XL, something like that. It's really open and free. So it's just, these are spacious regardless. I could totally wear this, even though I typically wear like smaller or medium, usually more like a medium, I think now. Yeah, I could totally wear this. It's so cozy. It's like wearing a blanket. All right, so for this photo shoot, I just felt inspired to use this song that I sang in my senior recital, Le Papillon et la Fleur, which means the butterfly and the flower. And for this reel showing off this cardigan, I decided to put the English translation of the words on the screen for you. So I'm showing you an adjusted version of the reel because I wanted to make it so you could read the words on this aspect a little bit better. So please enjoy. So I'm sharing another reel I made because this was a thought that kept occurring to me after having watched both halftime shows. I have to say, the Bad Bunny show reminded me way more of the culture all around me when I was growing up in California than the Turning Point USA show. And that is so true. Growing up in California, I was surrounded by Latin culture. I didn't have like cowboys singing about, fish and hunting and their trucks and stuff like that around me. So watching the Bad Bunny show felt like home. It felt like the culture that was all around me when I was growing up. And I thought it was beautiful. Okay, so now that I have finished my next Nana, which I'll show you in a second, I have pulled out here some pastel yarns to mimic this particular shrug that I've made before. So some of these are the same yarns that I used before. Actually, not a lot. Like this was the same, this is the same, and each yarn here is only going to be used in one row of the pattern. And it is not a repeating pattern, so each of the 3 panels will be separate, unique, like each row will be a new yarn for every single panel. So here's some other fun yarns that I'm incorporating that weren't in the original, because I don't have all the same ones. This is the same, this is the same, this is the same, this is the same. This is a different one. And I'm trying to make sure I include some fancy stuff along with some basic yarns, to really make it feel special regardless of what shrug you get. Everyone is a little bit special in some way. So I'm going to get started on this tonight. These I can work out pretty quickly because I just blow right through them. I know the pattern. The stitches are such that I can cover a lot of ground with the Flower of Life pattern pretty quickly. It's very gappy. So I'm going to make this tonight. I'm going to see if I can make it tonight and have it ready to photograph tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm only just getting started on this now, and I need to finish editing my video for posting tomorrow. So you will definitely not see the final shrug until next week's video. Alrighty, so I did finish my next Nana. Oh gosh, I love how she looks. Look how cool she looks. This is number 66. It's subtle, but it is stitched on there, 66. 66 weeks since we elected Trump, our president. This is Nanas Against Trump and Fascism. I'm making one every week, and I'm selling them in my Etsy shop. I have a whole bunch available. They're all named after somebody I find inspiring, and it is anti-Trump art simply because I say it is anti-Trump art. And I'm donating the proceeds to the ACLU, trying to do a little bit of what I can to make up for the stupidity of my country. So this one is named after Tilda Swinton, so this is Nana Tilda. So there she is. I have to photograph her tomorrow. I'll do that quickly before I finalize the editing of this video, and I'll plug it in right now. And I will now sign out. I'll see you next week. Next week, I will come to you with that pastel shrug and a custom look-alike cat. That will be a big project, so that might be most of next week's video. That one's going to be a really complex make, so you'll see what that entails next week. But for now, crochet hooks and colors bright, crafting wonders day and night. Join the fun, come see it through, subscribe and I'll create for you.